little late, but, you know, in saying that, like, you know, talked about having some pride and going out in the third period and play our asses off. But, you know, it's too late by then, almost. I mean, came out, scored the first goal, and then it kind of went the other way pretty quickly.
Locker room tension just exploded in Toronto. After a crushing 5-2 loss at home, Maple Leafs head coach Craig Berube stepped to the microphone and said the words many feared were coming. He did not talk about systems. He did not talk about injuries. He pointed at something deeper inside the team. And what he said has now changed the conversation around this season. The Toronto Maple Leafs lost 5-2 to the Ottawa Senators in their most recent game. The loss took place at Scotiabank Arena. It was Toronto's third straight defeat since returning from the NHL Olympic break. The team had won only once in its previous 6 games. Those results were confirmed in Reuters' official game report. Ottawa controlled most of the game. The Senators outshot the Maple Leafs 40-23. In the first period alone, Ottawa recorded 16 shots, while Toronto had only 2. These numbers were documented in the official box score. Shot totals showed a clear difference in puck control and pressure. Dylan Cozens scored 2 goals and added 1 assist for Ottawa. Drake Batherson also scored 2 times. Thomas Chabot contributed 1 goal and 1 assist. These were the official scoring details from the game recap. For Toronto, Morgan Rielly and William Nylander scored the only 2 goals. Joseph Woll started in net for the Maple Leafs. He allowed 5 goals on 28 shots. He was replaced in the second period by Anthony Stolarz, who made 12 saves in relief. These goaltending figures were recorded in the official game statistics.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I look at the game and show tape or we go over things, there's a certain way we need to play the game. But, you know, I can't give guys this or this. And that's on. They have to come with that. That's got to be on them. Like, they got to bring the heart and the competitiveness that's needed, and it's all the little things. They got to bring that. They got to want to bring that. We can bring the X's and O's, and I can go in there and yell and scream at them all I want. That doesn't do anything either.
But the story did not stop with the final score. After the game, Craig Berube addressed reporters. His comments were direct. According to Reuters, Berube said, "When I look at the game and show tape, we go over things, and there is a certain way we need to play the game." He made it clear that the team was not playing to its required standard. Then he delivered the line that has now drawn national attention. "I cannot give guys this," Berube said, pointing at his chest, or this, pointing at his head. He added, "They have to come with that." The gesture and the quote were published exactly as spoken in post-game coverage. Berube continued saying, "They have to bring the heart and the competitiveness that is needed." He also stated, "We can bring the X's and O's, and I can go in there and yell and scream at them all I want, and that does not do anything either." These remarks shifted focus away from tactics and toward effort. Team captain Austin Matthews addressed the media inside the locker room. According to Reuters, Matthews said the team must play for one another no matter what. His statement came shortly after Berube's remarks about heart and competitiveness. The captain did not dispute the coach's message. Instead, he focused on team response. William Nylander also delivered a clear message. He said, "We have to figure it out pretty quick here." That quote was published in post-game coverage. Nylander acknowledged that the team's position in the standings was tightening. The Maple Leafs had dropped 3 straight games since the Olympic break. Points were slipping away. Ottawa scored a power play goal in the second period after Toronto failed on a coach's challenge for offside. That goal gave the Senators momentum. Shortly after, Drake Batherson extended the lead. The Senators maintained control through the third period. These events were confirmed in the official game recap. A physical sequence followed in the final period. A fight broke out near the Toronto crease after a net front scramble. Penalties were assessed to players from both teams. The altercation was recorded in the play-by-play summary. The score remained unchanged after that moment. Berube also addressed slow starts in recent games. He said, "This team wants the easy ice, and there is no easy ice anywhere, any game." That quote was reported exactly as spoken. The coach indicated that consistent effort had not been present. At the time of these remarks, Toronto's record was 27-24-9. The NHL trade deadline was approaching within days. Movement across the league was expected. The Maple Leafs position added attention to every comment made by the head coach. Berube concluded that he needed to address the internal issues. His statements were recorded by multiple news outlets and distributed nationally. Each quote was delivered publicly and without alteration. With 3 consecutive losses after the Olympic break, a 5-2 home defeat, and direct comments about heart and competitiveness, the focus remained firmly on Toronto's response in the games ahead.
Breaking now at noon, Pittsburgh Penguins captain Sidney Crosby is officially out. KDKA sports reporter Cassidy Wood is here in the studio with us this afternoon. Cassidy, this isn't just 1 or 2 games without Sid.
Yeah, that's right, Barry. Unfortunately, Sid will miss a minimum of 4 weeks now. Just not the news we wanted to hear today as the Penguins.
More bad news has just hit Sidney Crosby, and this time it could shake the entire Penguins season. The Olympic injury that forced him out of the gold medal game is now confirmed to sideline him for weeks. Pittsburgh has placed its captain on injured reserve. The timing is critical, the impact is immediate, and the consequences are still unfolding.
The Penguins return to the ice tomorrow after the Olympic break without Sidney Crosby. Crosby is out for at least 4 weeks. Fans have been waiting for news on his status since he was hurt while playing on the Canadian Olympic team.
Yeah, it really is, Christine. You know, especially when you consider that Sidney Crosby has really been an Iron Man for the last 4 years for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He has missed only 2 of their last 300 games, but that now is going to change today.
The Pittsburgh Penguins confirmed that Sidney Crosby will miss a minimum of 4 weeks because of a lower body injury. The injury happened during the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan. Crosby was hurt in Canada's quarterfinal game against Czechia. He left the ice late in the second period after getting tangled along the boards and did not return to the game. After evaluation, the Penguins placed Crosby on injured reserve. The team announced the move following his return from Italy. Being placed on injured reserve means Crosby cannot play during this recovery period, and the team can adjust its roster while he heals. The 4-week timeline is the minimum. His status will depend on medical evaluations in the coming weeks. Crosby did not play in Canada's semifinal game against Finland. He also missed the gold medal game against the United States. Canada went on to lose the final 2-1 in overtime. Before the injury, Crosby recorded 6 points in 4 Olympic games. He was serving as captain of Team Canada during the tournament. After the gold medal game, Crosby spoke about the injury. He said he was pretty close to playing, but ultimately could not go. He also said he did not have an issue with the hit that led to the injury. According to reports, he credited the medical staff in Italy for giving him a chance to attempt a return. At the time of the injury, Crosby was leading the Penguins in scoring this season. Before the Olympic break, he had 27 goals and 32 assists in 56 games. Despite his age, he has remained one of Pittsburgh's top offensive producers. The Penguins entered the Olympic break with a 29-15-12 record. They were sitting in second place in the Metropolitan Division with 70 points. The team now faces a tight schedule over the next several weeks. Reports indicate Pittsburgh has 26 games remaining in the regular season, including a stretch of 15 games during the next 4 weeks, while Crosby is expected to be out. The following day, Canada's head coach said it was too soon to confirm Crosby's availability for the semifinal. Crosby did not dress for the semifinal matchup against Finland. Connor McDavid took over captain duties in his absence. Canada advanced to the gold medal game, but Crosby was again ruled out before the final against the United States. The United States defeated Canada 2-1 in overtime to win the gold medal. Crosby watched from the sidelines. His Olympic tournament ended with 6 points in 4 games. Those numbers included goals and assists from the opening round games before the injury. His absence in the medal rounds changed Canada's lineup structure. After returning to Pittsburgh, Crosby underwent further evaluation by the Penguins medical staff. The team confirmed the lower body injury and announced the minimum 4-week recovery period. Placement on injured reserve gives the organization roster flexibility, but confirms he will miss multiple regular season games. The timing affects a demanding portion of the Penguins schedule. Pittsburgh is set to play 26 remaining regular season games. 15 of those games fall within the next month. Their first game after the Olympic break is against the New Jersey Devils, the injured reserve. They also acquired defenseman Samuel Girard in a trade earlier this season, adding depth to the blue line. This marks one of the first Olympic tournaments with full NHL player participation since 2014. Crosby has a long Olympic history. He scored the gold medal winning goal for Canada in 2010. In 2026, he again served as team captain. His tournament ended early due to injury. Crosby is in the 21st season of his NHL career. He remains under contract with Pittsburgh and continues to produce at a point per game pace. His recovery timeline now becomes central to the Penguins' playoff positioning. Medical evaluations will determine when he can resume skating in practice. For now, Pittsburgh prepares to compete without its captain during a stretch that could define its season.
Yeah, Canada comes back.
Yeah.
They tie it in the second period, and then in overtime, it's Jack Hughes for the USA. Unbelievable.
It's so fitting that the game went to overtime because both of these teams, you know, the favorites coming into the tournament, were pushed to overtime earlier in the week in the quarters. So, I mean, I was hoping it would go to overtime for extra.
The golden goal ended a 46-year wait, and the celebration was loud. The images of Jack Hughes without his front teeth spread across the world within minutes, and less than 24 hours after overtime in Canada, Hughes delivered an update that shifted the focus away from the medal onto his condition. And that update carried consequences beyond the Olympic stage. Jack Hughes scored the overtime winner against Canada in the Olympic men's hockey final, and the goal secured the United States' first Olympic gold medal in men's hockey since 1980. The game ended in sudden death, and the final score was 2-1. One shot decided the championship as Hughes received the puck, released a quick shot, and beat the Canadian goaltender, and officials confirmed the goal immediately while Team USA left the bench in celebration. The victory ended a 46-year gold medal drought for U.S. men's hockey, and the last Olympic gold came in 1980 at Lake Placid. That team defeated the Soviet Union before winning gold, and this time, National Hockey League players led the roster, and Hughes' overtime goal placed him at the center of that historic moment. But the game carried another turning point earlier in regulation when Hughes lost multiple teeth after contact near the net. Broadcast footage showed visible damage and blood appeared on the ice as he skated to the bench for treatment, and medical staff evaluated him before he later returned to the game. There was no report of a concussion, and the injury involved dental trauma. Images of Hughes smiling without several front teeth spread across media platforms within minutes, and the moment became part of the Olympic coverage. Despite the injury, he continued to take shifts, and he did not leave the game permanently, and his return set up the final sequence in overtime. After the game, Hughes addressed reporters, and according to coverage from Sports Illustrated, he confirmed the damage and said, "I will get them fixed." That short statement carried weight because it confirmed that dental repair would be required, and it ended speculation about whether the injury was minor, since it was not temporary and it required follow-up treatment. Olympics.com reported that Hughes laughed off missing teeth after scoring the golden goal, and the article described him smiling during celebrations despite the visible loss of teeth. The report focused on the sequence from injury during regulation to return to play, and then the overtime winner, and that timeline became central to the story. A New Jersey oral surgeon later spoke to NJ Monthly about dental trauma in hockey, and the surgeon explained that injuries involving lost teeth often require procedures such as implants or reconstructive work. While the surgeon did not treat Hughes directly, the explanation outlined the seriousness of such damage, and dental replacement is not immediate because it involves planning and medical care. The celebration on the ice continued long after the overtime goal, as Hughes skated with teammates, held the American flag, and wore the gold medal during the ceremony, while cameras continued to capture his missing teeth. The images symbolize both victory and injury, but the story did not end with the medal presentation. The focus shifted quickly after the medal ceremony, and attention moved from the overtime replay to Hughes' condition as his statement, "I will get them fixed," confirmed that dental procedures were ahead. That meant medical appointments and recovery steps, and it also meant questions about timing as the National Hockey League season prepares to resume. Hughes plays for the New Jersey Devils in the National Hockey League, and the Olympic tournament paused the NHL regular season while players are expected to return to their teams after international competition ends. Any confirmed injury draws attention, especially when it involves a top scorer, and dental trauma does not always prevent play, but treatment can require multiple visits. Sports Illustrated reported that Hughes shared a broken teeth update following the gold medal win, and he acknowledged the damage publicly, while the outlet confirmed he would undergo dental repair. No official timeline was provided in that report, and there was no announcement of missed games at that time, and the confirmed fact remained the need for corrective work. Newsweek also reported on Hughes' media appearance after the victory, and during one exchange, he shut down an awkward question from a reporter, and the interaction was brief. It redirected attention to hockey matters, and the report described the moment as firm and controlled, while that exchange circulated across social media and became part of the wider coverage around him. The New York Post published coverage describing Hughes as having cemented his place as an Olympic and American hero, and the article connected the overtime goal to the long gap since 1980. The framing focused on history and national impact, and emphasized that the United States had waited decades for this result, and the goal ended that drought in sudden death against Canada. The rivalry between the United States and Canada in hockey carries deep history, and Olympic matchups between the two nations often draw large audiences. An overtime final increased the pressure because one mistake could decide everything, and Hughes' shot ended the contest instantly, and that sequence elevated his profile beyond the National Hockey League season. Olympics.com documented that Hughes returned to play after losing his teeth and later scored the golden goal, and the report emphasized his ability to continue competing after visible injury. It detailed the progression from regulation damage to overtime victory, and that order of events defined the headline coverage. Medical experts speaking to NJ Monthly explained that dental injuries in hockey can involve fractures, displacement, or full loss of teeth, and treatment may include implants or reconstructive procedures. The recovery process depends on severity, and public reporting has not stated the exact number of teeth lost, while Hughes confirmed only that repairs are required. As Team USA celebrated its first men's Olympic hockey gold medal in 46 years, Hughes stood at the center of every frame, with the medal hanging around his neck and the missing teeth visible in every photograph. The overtime goal secured his place in the record books, and the confirmed dental repair added the next chapter to monitor as professional play resumes.
The wait is over.
It's been a really long time. We need to get best on best back at those big games where it's country against country and it becomes more than hockey.
Opening night of the Four Nations face-off.
Well, for me, it's Celebrini, McDavid, Wilson. I love that. I think that's a really good line. I saw how they come together there. And the reason McDavid, who's going to have the biggest spotlight on him, he's going to shoulder a lot of the responsibility for this team, as he should, and he's ready to do. But Tommy Wilson on that right side of him.
Connor McDavid sent a powerful message to Team USA, and it was not delivered in a press conference. It came through his performance on Olympic ice. Every shift, the 2026 Winter Olympics marked the return of NHL players to Olympic competition for the first time since 2014. Connor McDavid entered the tournament as an alternate captain for Team Canada, and this is his first appearance at the Olympic Games. Canada opened the men's tournament with dominant results in group play. In the preliminary round, Canada defeated France 10-2. The team controlled possession and built a multi-goal lead early. After that game, McDavid stated, "We did what we came to do." The result gave Canada early momentum and established one of the highest single-game goal totals in the tournament. Canada followed with a 5-1 win over Switzerland. In that game, McDavid scored his first Olympic goal on the power play and added assists. His production placed him among the tournament's early scoring leaders. Through 2 games, he recorded 6 total points. Canada closed preliminary play with a 5-0 victory over the Czech Republic. The team finished the group stage undefeated and secured the top overall seed entering the knockout round. Canada's goal differential ranked ahead of the United States, which also advanced with a strong record. McDavid's message to Team USA has not been verbal, it has been statistical. Through multiple Olympic games, he accumulated 9 total points across goals and assists that placed him at or near the top of the scoring leaderboard among all players in the men's tournament. His power play involvement has been consistent against Switzerland. His goal came with the man advantage. His assists created scoring sequences that expanded Canada's lead. At even strength, he has generated offense through speed and puck control. Canada's roster depth reinforces that message, have all contributed in scoring roles. Marner scored the overtime winner in the quarterfinal round, sending Canada to the semifinal. That goal came 122 into overtime. During the quarterfinal, captain Sidney Crosby suffered a lower body injury and left the game. Head coach John Cooper confirmed Crosby had not been ruled out for the remainder of the tournament and would be evaluated. With Crosby's status uncertain, alternate captains, including McDavid, carried greater responsibility. Canada's defensive structure has also supported its offensive output. The semifinal stage places Canada 1 win away from the gold medal game. The Olympic format is single elimination at this point. A victory advances a team to play for gold, and a loss ends that path. The Canada-USA rivalry adds context to this tournament. The 2 nations have met in multiple Olympic and international championship games. A gold medal matchup would place McDavid against American NHL stars under Olympic stakes. Finland head coach Antti Pennanen said there were no lengths they would not consider with a gold medal opportunity at stake. The remark highlighted how opponents are preparing specifically for Canada's offensive threats. McDavid's threat is defined by measurable production. His goal contributions account for a significant percentage of Canada's scoring through the first rounds. His assist totals reflect playmaking involvement on multiple lines. Canada's special teams rank among the strongest in the tournament. McDavid's Olympic debut has been marked by high impact shifts and consistent scoring. His presence on the top line and first power play unit demonstrates the coaching staff's reliance on his production. The message sent to Team USA is not spoken. It is reflected in standings, goal totals, and scoring charts. Canada enters the final stage of the tournament as the top-seeded team with one of the highest goal outputs in the competition. The Olympic schedule concludes on February 22 with the gold medal game. Canada's path remains active and the United States' path remains active. Statistical leaders, including Connor McDavid, now shape the final outcome through performance rather than words.
We're with Bruce Boudreau and Frankie Corrado. Guys, Mitch Marner with another signature moment for Team Canada. Bruce, just how wild was that finish?
I'll tell you what, these are the kind of games where your heart can't take it. Mm-hmm. You're cheering for a team so much, and it's going back and forth. And when Mitch Marner made the play, it's so totally Mitch. It doesn't look like anything's going on. Then all of a sudden, a deke here, a move there, top right corner, and it was a great goal. We've seen it before. We've seen it in overtime in the past with Mitch Marner, but it sure you could feel Canada lifting up when that happened. So it was a great relief.
The entire country.
Yeah.
Sudden silence turned into instant celebration. Mitch Marner stepped into open ice and ended Canada's Olympic quarterfinal without warning. One shot decided everything. The threat of elimination disappeared in a moment. The goal sent Canada forward and shifted the pressure across the tournament. But that single play carried more meaning than just a win.
Well, and think about it. Canada needs someone to step up. Sidney Crosby wasn't in the game anymore. Celebrini and McDavid, they were unbelievable. McKinnon felt like he was going, but you needed someone else. And now, can I say that's big game Mitch Marner, the guy who has faced so much scrutiny throughout the course of his career for what he hasn't done in the playoffs as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now on the international stage delivering.